Hello, hello and welcome. Where's my... Because everything does taste better with dog hair in it. And the sad thing is, that's not even a joke. In this house, it'll have dog hair in it. Oh wait, I have to start that camera. And now we actually have the angle. Now everything is going, hey, hello, for the fourth time. Welcome people who are interested in the Ampete Amp Two or just me talking about dog hair. We have looked at the Amp 1, which is a 100 watt 2-channel beast that has a lot to offer with its slow, fast, normal options and 2 different boosts and low, high on the second channel. That thing can go from vintage, phenomenal cleans to brutal modern stuff. Now, Peter Arendt and his team went in the complete opposite direction with the Amp 2. Amp 2 is not one channel of the Amp 1. It's not a reduced Amp 1, it's something completely different. It is the Amp 2. And with that, I'll drink coffee. It doesn't have an effects loop. It doesn't have switches in the back. I'm not even filming the back because it literally has a line out, a foot switch input, which really just triggers the boost, which is included, the foot switch, and speaker outs. That's it. And if we look at the front of this amp, so Leslie could go to the slider cam, just because. Come on, how cool is that? We have not volume, we have volume, because it does something like a power soaky thing with the power amp. I don't quite understand exactly what it does, but something with volt and hume, and so it's volume. And then we have the bone, which is, damn it, I forgot, I gotta look it up. Yeah, it changes the boost, which is this thing here, and the tone circuit. So these are 3 different options to have kind of different voicings, let's call it that. Then we have no big time EQ. We have a this is, I'm getting max sounds here, I gotta turn those off, sorry. Unprofessional. It's just in tone control, no 3-band EQ, and gain, which can be boosted. So this is the opposite of complex. It is pretty much taking everything out that you don't need if you know how to play, and you don't need if you know how to reuse your volume. And the whole idea of the amp is to include the power amp section in the tone, not shaping, but the tone creation, which is why there is no effects loop. Because if you're driving in the power amp, putting delays and reverbs in front of that, it's not gonna sound great. However, you can put pedals in front of it, it works beautifully with pedals, and as you could hear in the track, which was not all rockin' at all, you could hear that the clean sounds are there. So yes, the amp has a lot to offer, but it's up to you, the player, to get those sounds out. The amp just is a vehicle for your expression without distracting from it. That's the whole idea. Just freaking play like in the good old days. Blow up the power amp like in the good old days, but with 20 watts EL84s and kind of get you that cranked old plexi Hendrix blow up the stage and kill your ears, but in a more controllable manner. I have a fly in my coffee. Ew. Tastes better without the fly. So the setup, we're doing 2 different things. We're gonna go Strat and a single cut type guitar. So we're gonna start with this beyond amazing, of course you know that, Macmull S Classic. Doesn't really get an awful lot better when we talk about, why is it on D? Because freaking Rafa was here yesterday and did a DAT-GAT tuning. Wouldn't it have been great if I had done that before I started filming? Yes, it would have. So, I'm gonna go to 1 tone in the middle, gain, boost off, gain in the middle, And I'm always going to have to fiddle with the volume a bit to not overload the Torpedo, which right now is running a 212 rev cab. Beautiful shred sounds. Now I can fatten that easily by just going to Boost in Tone Circuit 2. I like bone. Mids change, brightness changes, and 3. So this could be very nice for drive to tame the high end. Wow, listen to that spankiness. A lot fatter there, and rounder, and even fatter and rounder. So you already hear kind of where this is going with the bone. I'm gonna see, well, let's go to this, how it handles a drive in front of it. If Leslie shows the, somewhere we have a camera showing the pedals, I got a Walrus Audio Warhorn right now engaged with drive up at about 3 o'clock. So, what about a compressor? We're gonna put the Keeley Compressor Pro in there. Not a Compressor Pro, it's a Compressor Plus, I'm sorry. And it acts as a very nice boost, so we're also pushing the amp. Go from E to C because I want it. all around. You can hear that fat saturation already setting in where we're at now. So let's go back to just the amp and all the way up on the gain. That's what it's meant for. Big ass fat classic sounds. So let's engage the boost. It's very dense and fizzly and all that stuff that a really blown up amp would do. So for me, one would be more for the cleany stuff, because it's the brightest. And here it rounds off the high end, which is good for the drive stuff. So obviously you want to hear it with more input. So we're gonna go to Macmull, my frameless master build. Let's go single coil. I mean, not that we just had that really. Push that up in gain. So, what's the deal there? Well, you want those good old blown up sounds with a lot of saturation and gain. You want that plexi type, blah, just controllable. That's the whole idea. Now, is that killer for amazing leads? Yes, it is. Can you put delays on those leads? Hell no, because there's no effect loop. So that means that you got to be in a live situation where your guy on the mixing board can add that, because with the amp you really can't. Now the cleans are killer with the Strat. Holy crap! I know Markus Demel uses one once in a while live for his effect chain. So this is a Strat killer amp, of course. But I think it's it's light, so it is a live thing. If you just want rock and roll, you don't care about effects, fine. But I think the effects can be used when it's a studio tool, where of course you add delay and whatever later in your recording software. And for leads, insane. Completely insane in the membrane, screaming, saturated, power amp style leads. So if you don't want to fiddle too much with your amp and concentrate on your playing, this is a beast. You really have to work with it depending on what guitar you use. And that fizzle that you heard, that's just the amp blowing up. That's preamp, power amp, and everything on 11. And that's how, some guys in the 60s, 70s got their amps to crank. I mean, to distort. That is that sound, which a lot of us don't get to experience anymore, because when do we blow up a 100-watt amp? Like Pete Thorne did at GitCon when he did, Marshall Plexi all on 10. That most people never experienced that. With this amp, you can have it, but at 20 watts and in a completely reduced, no bullshit package. That package will cost you, $16.98? I think it's $1,700, 16 or 1,700. So is that inexpensive? No. Is it a bargain? I don't know. But if you're the person looking for exactly that sound, if you're looking for this untamed wildness, it's there. A lot of tone built into this thing. I have the black one here. Ampete makes them in this beautiful dark green, which is kind of their signature thing. And if you get one, get it in green. You can get them at Musik Produktiv. And most certainly, you have to check it out with your cab, your guitar. Go there, test it, see if it's your thing. It's a very special amp targeted at a no bullshit player, or a studio that just wants killer sounds. Those are the target people. It's not a small 20-watt amp for the beginner. I think you have to know a little bit about how to get tone out of your fingers and the guitar to make this thing work for you. Again, as always, let's show that again. This is actually stitched in, embroidered. The whole build quality, the offset, everything on this thing screams boutique and high end. The price, obviously, for a 20-watt amp, well, I don't know. The Sir Badger is $2,000, and does it deliver more? If you ask me, I take the Amp 2 over a Badger anytime, because I think this is more flexible and can get you more stuff. I'm just rambling on, I'm sorry. Check it out if you're interested in blowing up shit. Thanks Peter Ahrens and Ampete. And Animals at the end, as always, links below.